Today's soap is going to be inspired by the TV movie Prescription Murder, which was the beginning of Columbo on television with Peter Falk. So I'm planning to do an entire series inspired by episodes of Columbo. Of course, we start at the beginning because I have to start at the beginning. I'll show you what I am using to make the soap today, but I'm not going to tell you what part of the episode is inspiring the design until I cut the soap. Just so you can maybe try to figure it out if you've seen the episode. The colors I'm using today is activated charcoal and some kind of a pink. And boy, is the sun coming out all of a sudden. It was cloudy just a minute ago. I guess the sun is excited for this soap as well. The fragrance I'm using is Raspberry Illusion. I just recently made a soap with this fragrance oil and I liked it so much that I wanted it to be the first Columbo soap. There's also going to be sugar and coffee in the ingredients. So let's go. Coffee lye, water, mixture. Our fragrance oil. And then the first thing I want to do is pour in the uncolored batter. Enough of it. That seems like enough. I'm not a super measurer. Activated charcoal is often a messy thing to work with. It's not actually very red. Oh, it's pink. Not bad. It's not red, but whatever. Okay. So first I want some black to fall in. This is not falling in as well as I want it to. It's thickened up a little bit too much. I'm hoping if I tease it a little, it'll loosen up. Black on the bottom. All the red goes in the middle. And we still want this to kind of fall in. Oh, it wants to settle. It wants to become soap. And it needs to wait a second. Loosen up a little bit. See, it's becoming soap before I was ready. All right, I think that's good. See you for the cut. So it's been about probably an entire day since I made the soap. I am doing a voiceover because I did not want to talk while I was cutting the soap. I just wanted to be left alone. It came out of the mold quite easily, so it was ready. Bring our soap cutter over here and change your angle so you can see it a little bit better. I wondered if you figured out what my design is supposed to be inspired by from Prescription Murder. Here goes our first cut. This little piece I cut in half and I send out for free in orders as samples. So this soap design was inspired by the intro title sequence for Prescription Murder. Never has there ever been anything like it again in Columbo. It was very 60s in its music and presentation. I really enjoy the music and the style. It was just very creative because the whole sequence is, of course, a Rorschach test. Ink blots are spreading across the screen. I was going for this exact Prescription Murder screenshot here. I was going for that design with the red in between black and then white on top and the bottom. Which I am actually very happy with how these soaps turned out. I am. You could show somebody this and say, this is an ink blot test. What do you see? Which, as a soap maker, almost every batch of soap when it comes to swirls or just drop swirls and simple pours, they're almost all ink blot tests. You can see a picture if you try hard enough in all of them. Prescription Murder was the beginning. It was slightly different from what the rest of the series was to become, but it was a great cornerstone for the beginning of the Columbo building, for the Columbo blueprint for murder. This episode is one of my favorites for the music, and Dave Grusin did the music. It was just a very 60s. I'm glad that Columbo started in 68 to have a 60s episode. Have you seen Prescription Murder, and what do you think about it? Next up, after cutting the soap, I am going to trim the edges because they do get awfully sharp as the soap cures. If you don't trim off the edges, they're just kind of sharp. Not sharp enough to hurt you, but uncomfortable if you're going to go, wash your face with it or whatever you're going to do. So I trim off the long corners, and then I'm going to stamp the side with my soap company that I made called Nazumi Soaps with a cute little precious little rat on it as my logo. But then I'm also going to stamp it with my Columbo stamp. So all of my Columbo themed soaps will have Columbo's name stamped in the front. There's still a little bit of mica powder left in that Columbo stamp. It's hard to get those stamps cleaned, but all I do is stamp soap with them, so I guess they're not really dirty. I am happy with how our soap turned out today. I'd say this does look like a Rorschach test image. So you tell me what you see. If you're familiar at all with Columbo, you might know which soap is coming up next, because the next one will be a Columbo themed soap from an episode. And I hope you'll come back for that. And yes, I will be opening my soap shop this year. I still have not bought a printer, and I still have not collected myself on my supplies needed for shipping things. But it's going to happen this year, so that's why I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of Columbo-themed soaps, because I have a feeling some of my awesome Watch It for Days fans are going to be showing up over there. Because a lot of them have asked, when are you opening your soap shop? June, it will be 3 years since I temporarily closed it. So, the latest I plan to open my shop is June, but I hope to open it sooner than that. But it's going to be around June. So, I'll let you know when it's open finally.